And the last fight was for the belt in Dublin.
Oh, you take it! Big connection from Conor McGregor!
Well, I was more eager to get in there, and I was feeding off the crowd and all the people back from Dublin and get behind me. It's good to have that support, yeah.
Oh, good one, too!
My name is Ivan Buchinger. I am from Slovakia. My team is Octagon Fighting Bratislava. My specialty is wrestling, jiu-jitsu.
I definitely see a twin on this shoulder. And then who knows, you know what I mean? Just want to keep positive and, you know what I mean? Sky's the limit.
My opponent is a very good fighter, stand-up box on the good offensive in ground.
You know, he's 21 wins, 3 losses, he's experienced. I don't know much else, I've watched a little bit.
I am happy for the chance, for this belt.
Well, I think he'll give me a few exchanges. I think I'll have him hurt by the end of the first, and I think I'll have him out there second round.
I think I win by submission.
£5. Here is Ivan Buchinger. And next to the bullet across the cage, standing out of the red corner. Also a mixed martial artist, he stands 5 feet 8 inches tall. Weighing in officially 155 pounds. He brings 11 wins and 2 losses into the cage. He is the fighting pride, the native son of Dublin, Ireland. He is the CWFC reigning featherweight champion of the world, the notorious Conor McGregor.
Okay, gentlemen, you understand the rules of fighting, you listen to me, keep yourself protected all the time. If I say stop, you stop. If you want to touch gloves, do it now. Let's do this.
Oh, wow, Josh. It really is here. Conor McGregor back on home turf. The cage door is set. Mark Goddard will be officiating this one. Conor McGregor in the blue. Ivan Buchinger in the white.
Oh, man, I'm on the edge of the seat for this one. Immediately, Conor McGregor pushing forward, wide open. Almost karate-like stance. Front kicks coming in to Buchinger's midsection and immediately opening up.
Conor looking so settled already. And that's that capoeira style of striking that he's been using. He's mixing everything up so nicely. Really taking Buchinger by surprise.
Yeah, Buchinger had a lot of time in his last fight here on Cage Warriors to settle into the match. Conor McGregor's given him nothing here. However, has he got this grip on McGregor's neck on the way down? He's certainly trying to climb high.
Well, Buchinger's been looking exceedingly calm over the last couple of days. Eerily so. But he's going to need to have everything about him as he takes on a very dangerous Irishman in notorious Conor McGregor.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to have faced guys who want to play that gamesmanship before. You know, 21-3, extremely experienced, been around a very long time, although he's still relatively young, to be fair to him. But, you know, Conor McGregor is trying to take it to another level here in Dublin, but Buchinger very succinctly back to his feet.
Well, Anton Kuivainen couldn't put him away, and he is a huge man with awesome power.
Well, that's it. Buchinger has been stopped once in 24 fights, and that was a freak flash 20-second KO. You know, Conor McGregor's going to have to do something to put him away here. It's not a walk in the park.
Well, he's teeing off on him at the moment. McGregor with the southpaw stance, beckoning on his foe.
Good check from McGregor.
Everything he throws is plus 80%. He's such a gentleman out of the cage, but he's a machine of destruction inside.
Nice combination from Buchinger.
That strike left was so very well executed. He's got a very good boxing style.
Buchinger throwing a few outside left low kicks, following up with jabs nicely. Wow, hand speed, I think, is the two words you need to know about there.
Bushinga's legs looks a tad wobbly as McGregor connected. He's chosen to drive himself up against the frame of McGregor.
One of the nice things McGregor said in a few interviews, he said, I'm not going to get him out of there in the first. It's not going to be that easy, but I've got the confidence to think I might get him out of there in the second, which is, you know, sort of a measured sense of confidence, which I rather like.
McGregor's also got a packed hall here in Dublin, right behind him, cheering on every single one of his movements, all of his twitches, in fact.
This first round was always going to be a bit of a stern test. Wow.
That's something that I've never
yeah.
seen before.
Well, that was an incredible kick to the knee, and huge left hook from McGregor as Bushinga surges in.
Bushinga's walking onto the punch. That's what created it. And that left is getting through. It's like a piston spearing through the Dublin air straight onto the chin of Ivan Bushinga, and it's having a home repeatedly. How very tough is Bushinga? McGregor with a few shots.
Wow.
Bushinga's completely out of it. What a spectacular knockout by Conor McGregor as we are bombarded with his fans around the commentary position.
Covered in rather a lot of beer as well, John.
Ivan Bushinga is in some real trouble. And Conor McGregor looks almost like a Viking. He's taken some of that Icelandic fury and brought it to the cage. It was a very well put together fight indeed. And I'm looking quite nervous as I stare up at Conor McGregor. Last time I took a knee for my troubles.
What a performance.
Faultless performance by Conor McGregor against a very seasoned opponent, a highly skilled striker and wrestler. McGregor was not troubled for 1 second. While we take a breath, let's get these replays rolling.
Hey, this fucking shit.
That's McGregor with the wrestling, shoots in on the hips, and it's a straight left. Within range, there's an uppercut, the hook, everything is thrown with such power and such crisp technique, and that is a hugely devastating hook shot. He didn't even put the whole of his body into that. He touched the chin and Bushinga went tumbling. Let's throw it up the
junior light.
Mayweather.
One begins, and the first major question of the fight: how well and how often can Oscar De La Hoya find Floyd Mayweather and make contact with him? Mayweather with a right hand across the top, first significant landed blow of the fight. Mayweather often leads with left hooks or straight right hands, does not lead with the jab nearly as often as you would expect a pure boxer to do. Right hand across the top for De La Hoya excites the crowd, and immediately De La Hoya begins hammering away with left hooks to the body. Mayweather blocked all of those with his arm, but Oscar came back upstairs with a left hook.
I don't think Oscar landed the right hand. I think the way that Floyd been down from it has created excitement with the crowd. I don't think anybody's had much contact so far.
No, maybe the most significant thing so far was the spirited effort that De La Hoya made to get at Mayweather's ribcage. Oscar has never been a particularly prolific body puncher. He acknowledges that he needs to do more body punching tonight. The one time Floyd Mayweather was in danger of losing a fight in his first fight against Jose Luis Castillo. Castillo barely ever looked upstairs and focused on the ribcage all night long.
Well, Oscar's trying to maneuver Floyd to the ropes. You can see that's his strategy. He's not doing too much because he can't deal with Floyd's speed in the center of the ring. He's tried to counter it, but he can't. So he's trying to get Floyd to the center, to the ropes before he can be effective.
Right. Mayweather in the middle of the ring is quicker, beating him to the punch. Oscar trying to figure out how to crowd him.
And this is typical Mayweather right here. One punch and then out of the way. He landed a left hook lead, moved away. He landed a right cross lead, moved away. There it is again. Sticks a jab, moves away. De La Hoya has to try to find ways to engage with Mayweather and make him trade punches rather than to land in short bursts and then go away out of punching range.
I don't think that Oscar planned for this. Oscar planned to just walk in and be physical and just to force Floyd to the rope, but he didn't expect it so difficult to get in to do that. And right there, Floyd angled his body to the fact that he neutralized those left hook attempts by Oscar.
But he isn't throwing a jab either.
No, Oscar's not jabbing at all. I've always said Oscar's key was his jab, and he's not using his jab at all. Just trying to walk in and shoot power punches.
The names Atiana and Jacob on the back of De La Hoya's trunks. His two children who are not mothered by Millie Carrecha, his present wife. Obviously, so much attention was paid to his son Gabriel in the build-up to this fight that Oscar wanted to honor his other two children by putting their names on the back of the trunks.
So far, Floyd is winning this round by landing the only two clean punches of the round. And the fight is moving just the way that Floyd would like it to stay.
There's Millie Carrecha, pop singer from Puerto Rico and mother of Oscar De La Hoya's son, Gabriel, and his wife of the past several years. Well known to the public now after 24/7.
Use that jab off the feint a little bit, okay, son?
Right in the middle, right there.
He ain't seen no motherfucker like you.
Think a man's game, baby.
Think a man's game. You can tell him. Keep doing what you're doing right now. Keep doing what you're doing.
Freddie Roach said that it would take a couple of rounds for De La Hoya to adjust to the speed and that he wouldn't look good until a few rounds had gone by.
Well, CombiBox numbers in round one were by no means definitive. De La Hoya 3 out of 26.
Yeah,
Mayweather 7 out of 35. And that's a Mayweather-type round, both in terms of the speed and pace and the number of punches landed.
The first jab that Oscar really threw snapped his head back.
Good left hook inside by De La Hoya. And for a moment there, they exchanged punches. That's what Oscar De La Hoya needs. Now he lands a jab again across the top.
Now, if Oscar's continue to do that and mount his attacks off of the jab, particular jab in that Mayweather's left eye, which will neutralize Mayweather counterpunching, he'll do very well.
Good right hand across the top from De La Hoya. Mayweather now feels a need to answer back. Leads with the left hook, steps away again. So Oscar's kind of gotten his feet wet here in the first minute of the second round, landing both a left hook inside and a right hand across the top against Floyd Mayweather. There's another straight right hand landing for De La Hoya, and a jab and a right hand again, and the crowd goes nuts as De La Hoya begins to take over offensively, fighting the bigger man fight.
I think Oscar's fighting perfectly as long as he operates behind the jab before he goes in. But those right hands wasn't that effective. Mayweather rolled those right hands. It looked good to the crowd, but they didn't land effectively.
They landed enough to make the point that he's landing punches while Floyd isn't throwing.
Well, he's winning this round, I'll tell you that much. If he continues doing what he's doing, he'll win this round.
The chant is Oscar, Oscar, Oscar. You can expect a lot of that as long as he's still in the fight. Straight right hand by Mayweather. De La Hoya flurries before Floyd moves away. Now Mayweather goes to his own jab.
You have to watch Floyd to start jabbing, and then all of a sudden he'll change the jab into a leaping left hook.
De La Hoya with 3 body shots in a row. Clearly a bigger focus on the body tonight than in previous fights. As soon as Mayweather threw his right hand, Oscar tried to land a left hook upstairs. Mayweather slips away from the jab. Oscar reaching, having trouble finding Mayweather. There'll be a lot of that.
And Oscar's doing a very good job of neutralizing Mayweather's left hook too, which is Mayweather's pet punch.
That and the straight right hand lead, of which we haven't seen many so far.
Nope, hardly no right hand.
Oscar tried to lead with a right hand over the top. Trying to get a left hook between Mayweather's guard That was a more active round for De La Hoya.
Good round for Oscar.
Walking him, keep walking and tapping with the jab. That's all you gotta do. You ain't gotta get crazy. Down the stretch, you're gonna get his ass. Okay? Don't worry. Get ready. Down the stretch. Let the biscuit tie a little bit. All you doing is walking in anyway. He ain't doing shit. He just walking in.
Okay.
Keep the jab working.
Okay.
Keep the feint working. And stay off the rope when you have to. Don't get on the rope when you have to. Every now and then get on it, but don't stay off the rope so long.
Okay.
Other than that, you make it easy.
He's anticipating. Give me some more feint. Okay? All right.
Jab to the body. Keep walking with it.
Floyd Mayweather Sr. at ringside, trainer of Oscar De La Hoya for the past 7 years. Briefly, he was in his own son's camp prior to this fight before leaving again. Sitting tonight in a seat he acknowledges to us, which was provided to him by De La Hoya. Although sitting in the seat provided by Oscar, he was non-committal as to who he was rooting for in the fight, saying that he had extremely mixed feelings that it was even taking place. You saw the CompuBox numbers, which slightly favored De La Hoya in the second round. Wailing away with the left hook, trying to get at Mayweather's body. Mayweather blocking the shots with his right arm. Now the left hook lands upstairs. And he lands a right cross across the top. And for the first time in the fight, Mayweather looks genuinely on the defensive.
Oscar's fighting a perfect fight right now. He's being aggressive, not trying to think too much, because if he thinks, he's not going to beat Floyd thinking. It is very effective.
Sledgehammer punching across the top. Mayweather this time backs Oscar off with a body shot. Now pops him with the jab. Mayweather seemingly able to land his jab when he wants to throw it.
These are two boxing savants trying to find the right formula to fight each other.
Oscar's got to be more effective and stop thinking too much, because when he thinks too much, he's playing right into Mayweather's hand. When he lets the punches go, he does very well.
Yep, you saw what happens when Oscar waits and gives Mayweather time. Mayweather landed the left hook lead, stepped to the side, then landed a straight right hand lead. It would appear that what De La Hoya needs to do is to attack and flurry and apply the relentless pressure that so many people in his camp talked about offering.
He shot a good flurry there, but I don't know whether he got winded or whatever, but he's falling right back into playing the traps. Whether you land a clean punch on Floyd is not that important. Hit him on the shoulders, elbows, anywhere. Just hoping that the weight size and the strength will wear him down as the fight goes on.
Mayweather able to duck back straight away from punches because he's so quick on his feet. Good quick left hook there by Floyd Mayweather.
That's his key punch, and Oscar seems to have been blocking it all night long. He's been very ineffective with that punch so far.
Straight right hand lead for Mayweather. Tremendously effective with that punch. And instantly he moves away to the side. Left hook lead, moves away to the side. This is vintage Mayweather. This is why De La Hoya needs to find a way to plant him against the ropes, make him stationary, and force exchanges. He was able to do it at the first part of this round. For the last minute and a half, Floyd has been back into his game.
Yep, Oscar's got to be a little bit more aggressive, continue to keep moving in, throwing punches, whether he has a clear target or not, and when he finishes up with the punches, move forward anyway.
This round is on the table for somebody to flurry and steal it in the last 20 seconds. It's been relatively even up to now. Let's see who will try to apply the activity down the stretch. And there's your answer.
Mayweather said he wanted to go toe-to-toe. What he really wants is to go hand-to-hand.
Good solid left hook. Landed for Mayweather to punctuate the round. But what do you like better? His defensive skill down the stretch or the fact that Oscar was pursuing him?
I like Oscar at the beginning of the round. It shows what he can do, and he does have the strategy to win the fight.
Tell them to ring off good that round, okay? Now you're gonna use that jab a little bit more for me, okay? So double that jab up. All right? All he's using is the feint and the hook, okay? You block that, you want to come back with your shot, okay, son? Okay. All right? That's all he's doing. Deep breath.
How do you feel? Through the first 3 rounds, Floyd Mayweather lands the cleaner, more precise shots Oscar De La Hoya flurries and pressures and tries to force activity. He makes the aggression in the fight. Which will impress the judges more? And incidentally, these first 3 rounds, not unlike the first 3 rounds of Mayweather-Judah, when Zab Judah was able to threaten Floyd and make him uncomfortable from time to time, but eventually Mayweather settled into a groove and won the fight. Harold, how'd you score the first 3?
Okay, Jim, 2 rounds to 1, 29-28, Floyd Mayweather Jr. In rounds 1 and 3, Jim, I just thought he outpunched him with that left jab and the left hook. Round 2 against Oscar De La Hoya, good aggressiveness, he got off, threw some real good shots, but 1 and 3 to Floyd Mayweather, 29-28, 2-1 to Floyd.
And again, here at the beginning of round 4, we see Mayweather landing the cleaner shots. Oscar De La Hoya, throughout his career, has had a tendency sometimes to tire toward the end of 12-round fights.
It's always been a concern that I was ahead with him. In this case here, also, he's fighting flat-footed, and he's not that effective. When Oscar gets on his toes, he punches better, and he has still one of the best left jabs in boxing. He just isn't using it in this fight. In recent years, he hasn't used it that much.
He worked in training camp on being more relaxed and less intense, but in the ring tonight, it's the same intensity we've always seen.
Yeah, the way he's fighting, I don't know, I have a feeling he's going to kind of tire going down the stretch. I just see that in his body movement.
No question, Mayweather is the more relaxed of the 2 competitors.
But the pace of this fight shouldn't tire him. He's not getting punched much. Unless Mayweather steps up the pace, there's no reason he should get tired late in the fight.
Oscar seems to be very tense. You know, with a guy with all of the fights he has, he seems to be more tense.
Well, he's always fought like he had a balled fist, and that has helped to tire him.
There are the body shots, and there is a sustained attack to the body like nothing you've seen in De La Hoya's career. So an adjustment finally shows up. Something he will have to do differently, and he seems concertedly aware of it in that moment. And because he throws the body shots, he pins Mayweather against the ropes and gets a chance to try a couple of shots upstairs. They go back to the center of the ring, and it's back to being Floyd's fight. Oscar De La Hoya threw about 12 body shots in a row.
Yeah, but I didn't see it. I mean, I don't think they was effective. They wasn't effective. I see it. Floyd is placing precision punches right there.
I don't see those punches landing.
No, they're not, but they're getting closer. He's getting closer and closer. I see as the fight goes on, Oscar's going to be getting hit with a lot of clean shots like that, I believe.
Left hook right after the bell for De La Hoya.
Listen. Forget about that. Keep the motherfucker in the middle ring. Down the stretch, you're going to get in his ass. Don't worry about that. You do what you're doing. Keep popping that ass, that jack. Keep popping that.
Working good.
Down the stretch.
A little more shoulder movement, okay? Don't be so still in front of him, okay? Be a little moving target for me, okay?
Here you can see Oscar throwing his volley of punches, particular series of left hooks. To me, I don't personally think any of those punches was that effective to me. I know he's landing me a lot of effort. I think he's exerting himself, and Floyd is relaxing all the time while he's doing that.
I don't think they can do Mayweather any good.
No, well, the point is that he's trying it.
He's trying.
The point is that he's attempting to throw body punches in much greater volume than ever before.
What you hear from Roger Mayweather, the trainer in the corner, is they are really counting on De La Hoya tiring in the last third of the fight. Twice now we've heard Roger Mayweather say he's going to get tired, he's going to get tired, you'll get him later in the fight.
Good quick left hook inside by Mayweather and a big right hand upstairs by Floyd. Biggest shot of the night for Mayweather. Power punches through 4. De La Hoya, 29 out of 108. Mayweather, precise and accurate, 33 out of 58.
Keep it clean now. Here we go.
And I think the point is quite well taken. De La Hoya fighting this way does appear to be tiring
That's what
from round to round.
I feel the same way. I see the tension in him. I just see his body rhythm as if he's beginning to tire and throwing a lot of punches, but I don't think he's been effective.
It's one thing to say you're going to be more relaxed, but there's so much pressure in trying to find Floyd Mayweather within the time frame of 12 rounds. And again, De La Hoya tries to set something up with the body and then go upstairs.
You know, what Oscar's doing is the best thing he can do. I think it's good, but the only thing I've been concerned about him not getting tired. What he's doing is proper, but it seems like he's getting tired.
Emmanuel, maybe he will get tired, but right now the fight is happening, and there it's a very close fight. We don't really know yet who's going to get tired at the end.
One thing I would say is that Oscar De La Hoya should throw his jab more, but I'm sure he's reluctant to throw the jab because of the quick right-hand counters of Floyd Mayweather. He's so quick and slinky with his right hand. Every time De La Hoya gets Mayweather near the ropes, you can feel the urgency as Oscar tries to suddenly take advantage of the opportunity.
You know, it scores points, it shows his aggression, and if in a close round, if he does this 2 or 3 times around, he'll get the benefit of the doubt.
There's a red abrasion on the outside of De La Hoya's right eye, probably from a Mayweather left hook. Straight right hand across the top from Floyd Mayweather. He uses that punch increasingly down the stretch of those fights in which he's comfortable and confident. De La Hoya briefly landed a right cross across the top.
I like that Mayweather is standing right in with De La Hoya here. This is toe-to-toe.
And now the hand speed difference shows up in the center of the ring.
Right, he feels he can beat Oscar to the punch and is willing to take the risk of getting hit.
And the big hand speed edge for Mayweather puts De La Hoya on the defensive as soon as they're in the middle of the ring. And Mayweather is trying to knock Oscar out with a right hand. Landed that one clean and flush. It would be very satisfying for Mayweather after all the talk about the possibility that De La Hoya, the bigger man, might knock him out if he could score a knockout of Oscar.
Nice deep breath. Relax, baby, relax. Okay.
Where's the towel? Be you. Be you. That's all you have to do is be you.
Here you see Floyd land a right hand on Oscar. This is a right hand right on the side of the head, over top of his extended jab. And I think later on he lands another right hand, which is a different type of right hand. This is a right hand through the center. Oscar is actually making the fight and throwing the punches, but he's not being that effective. If he can continue to do this and don't tire, he has a chance to win in the decision. But I think fatigue is going to set in as the fight goes on.
And gradually, round to round, CompuBox numbers begin to reflect Mayweather's edge. In the last 2 rounds, he has a 34-20 superiority over De La Hoya in power shots landed. The faster hands of Floyd Mayweather are becoming more and more a factor in the fight. This is round 6 of a scheduled 12.
This is high-speed chess between 2 outstanding fighters, but plainly the speedier is Mayweather.
Which is why De La Hoya is trying so hard to get to the body and apply some of the pressure that might slow Mayweather down a little bit. The other option was to try to stop speed with the jab, as Vernon Forrest did to Shane Mosley. That's not working as well. So once again, De La Hoya goes back to work chopping wood, trying to get at Mayweather's ribcage the way Jose Luis Castillo did back in the 135-pound weight class.
When you're fighting a defensive genius like Mayweather, and you have a great punch like the left hook that Oscar has, and he's looking for it, you could wait all night and all weekend and not land it.
Oscar was fortunate to beat Pernell Whitaker years ago without landing a single significant left hook in the fight. He knew good and well that Floyd Mayweather might be able to take away his money punch upstairs. Good job of defense here by De La Hoya as he ducks and slips in the center of the ring. Suddenly making Mayweather miss. Floyd got a little sloppy with arcing shots over the top. Not normally the way he punches. And again, De La Hoya tries to set something up with the body before changing upstairs. Quick right hand. 2 punches blocked by De La Hoya. Good round for Oscar here.
Good round for Oscar.
His best round since early in the fight. Now there's a quick left hook that lands for Mayweather. De La Hoya short with the right hand, but gets in a left. And once again, Oscar answers fire with fire. So with 35 seconds to go in this round, De La Hoya is mounting a little mini comeback in the middle of the fight. Straight right hand lands for Mayweather, and he skips out of the way. Mayweather going back to that right hand lead. Part of his bread and butter. Lands a left hook, and De La Hoya just stands there. Suddenly the round begins to even up. So De La Hoya pressures him against the ropes. Quick left hook lead by Mayweather. Problem for De La Hoya.
But Oscar's had great defense this round himself. He's the guy that's been catching Mayweather's punches right.
And again, they're near the ropes. And again, De La Hoya gets to make the last little statement of round 6.
Good round for Oscar.
A nervous Millie De La Hoya watching at ringside. A nervous Floyd Mayweather Sr. kibitzing with observers nearby. Earlier we heard through a microphone we've attached to Floyd his observation that he thought De La Hoya might tie.
Hey, top. All right.
Okay? Every time you throw that jab, you land that, okay? All right? You land 1, land 2, okay? Step, okay? All right?
Beautiful night on the Strip in Las Vegas, Nevada. We're midway through this extremely anticipated bout between Floyd Mayweather and Oscar De La Hoya. You saw the CompuBox numbers, which show the percentage edge for Mayweather. He's landing more punches and landing a very high percentage of his power shots, 56%. That's because of the fast hands. But De La Hoya keeps on trying. Harold, how do you have it through 6?
Okay, Jim, 58, 56, 4 rounds to 2. Floyd Mayweather Jr. Jim, every time they get in one of these face-to-face stand-downs like they are now, Floyd Mayweather throws the first punch. He gets off first, he pops Oscar De La Hoya with a left or a right, and Oscar can't get back up. This time, Oscar attacked him. But Oscar does that like he did in round 6. He wins the rounds. But basically, it's been Mayweather getting off first, landing more clean shots.
And just to show you that Oscar heard Freddie Roach asked for the jab, and suddenly Oscar unfurls a bunch of jabs.
That is the key to Oscar's aggression, is the jab, because that'll make Mayweather bend back, twist his body, and then he's effective after that. But Oscar's fighting a very determined fight. I can see he is determined to win this fight if it's the last thing that he does. Whether he wins or not, he's putting every effort, doing everything properly, and if he can hold up stamina-wise, he's got a good chance of winning and going down the stretch.
Might win the fight. I mean, it's hard to say. It might be the last thing he does, whether he wins or loses, at least in a prize fight ring. De La Hoya suddenly dispenses with throwing the jab. He should keep at it. That set up his offense in the first minute of this round. When he's not throwing his jab, he gives Mayweather the chance to measure and wait and figure out when he wants to land his lead left hook or right hand. When he is throwing the jab, Mayweather backs up and doesn't throw.
Oscar has a great jab. And actually, Mayweather doesn't have the jab. But really, jab has always been Oscar. Mayweather has fast hands, but not that authoritative jab the way that Oscar has.
Oscar blocking a left-hand shot with his right glove.
Question is, will we get the drama we were hoping for in the second half of this fight?
Mayweather lands 2 right-hand shots over the top. Well, we're into the second half.
All right, and as Mayweather is more willing to stand and trade, maybe we will get some theatrics.
Good body shot by Mayweather. And he comes back to the body and hammers De La Hoya again. Big left hook upstairs by Mayweather. Now De La Hoya feels the need to rally and goes back to throwing the jab.
Stop! Watch your shoulder, watch your shoulder.
You just can't speed Floyd Mayweather up. You can't make him throw 60, 70 punches around. He fights in staccato bursts. He likes it that way. De La Hoya trying to pressure.
Well, if Floyd doesn't punch back, Oscar's going to win this round.
Another round that followed the profile of the fight. De La Hoya was more active. Mayweather was more accurate.
Everything nice and tight. Come on, baby. He said, he faded him. He said.
Very good.
So they just a break. He's wrong.
So go downstairs with him.
Break it on the body.
Go downstairs.
Okay, no problem.
Get a little closer with the motherfucker.
Okay.
Emmanuel, I don't think a fighter can depend on the other fighter getting tired at the end. What if he doesn't?
Well, if he doesn't, the way this is going, here's a good
Well,
chance that Oscar's going to win the fight.
Well, then, but he's got to fight like he's going to get 12 hard rounds from his opponent.
I think his opponent has told him that he's going to have to step it up a little bit. This is the last half. Oscar does seem to be a little fatigued, but he's still working. He's still throwing punches, and he's pushing the fight. Floyd is very accurate, as Jim said, but not active enough. And the fight is getting closer and closer, and actually, in my mind, I see Oscar pulling ahead.
In round 7, if De La Hoya won the round, he did it for a simple reason. He threw 38 jabs, landed 11. He's got to keep being active with the jab to heighten his chances of winning the fight. Between rounds, Bernard Hopkins stood up from his seat near De La Hoya's corner and screamed, jab. Hopkins, of course, one of De La Hoya's business partners in Golden Boy, along with Shane Mosley, who sparred with him. Another De La Hoya flurry, and the crowd rises again. Once again, Oscar being more active, setting up the assault with the jab, putting Mayweather on the defensive, Mayweather countering back accurately.
That's been his most effective punch tonight. Not his left hook, not his right hand, not a body punch. Oscar De La Hoya's left jab is his best punch when he uses it.
You got to take the chance that you're going to get clocked with a counter right. That's why Oscar sometimes pulls the jab and puts it back in the holster. But when he uses it, he puts Mayweather on the defensive. He's got to keep doing that. Mayweather with a hard right hand over the top. De La Hoya has stopped using the jab, and Floyd is picking his shots again.
No, but De La Hoya is picking them off because they're one shot at a time.
Well, that's the way Floyd fights, one shot at a time.
Well,
combinations are relatively rare.
Well, then that's something that Oscar is exploiting.
But actually, Floyd hasn't found a way to really penetrate Oscar with a solid punch. His main punch is springing left hook that he leaps at. Oscar's blocked that all night long for the most part.
No, it's when he counters that he does best.
The best, most authoritative punch between the two of them tonight has been the left jab of Oscar. That's been extremely effective when he throws it. Other than that, everything else has pretty much been deflected.
But he seems to have forgotten it since the beginning of this round. Now there's a jab.
In my view, Emmanuel, since I thought that Mayweather, who is almost a 2-to-1 favorite, was supposed to win this fight, given his youth, given his talent, that Oscar is doing very, very well to stay in the fight with him this long.
And then on top of that, look at it, maybe possibly pulling ahead on the scorecard.
Well, in this round, he's the more energetic fighter. And Mayweather's accuracy has receded a little bit in this round, as De La Hoya has done a pretty good job of picking off punches with his gloves.
And Floyd is having a problem with hitting Oscar with anything really clearly in the finish.
Mayweather looking for one more big counter shot. Oscar looking for one definitive rally down the stretch of the round. They both got in a clean punch at the end.
Oscar's doing that every round, which is very smart. Close rounds, he can go either way. He flurries at the end of those rounds and is possibly still in those rounds.
I think you got an even fight. 4 rounds apiece.
Hey! Mother hit on a fucking break anyway. You know, listen, all you gotta do when you get close to the rope, time up, keep up his ass in the ring, just like you just did then. How you feel?
Waiting this guy, we need a little more movement going to him, right? Cut the ring off.
Yep.
Right? Don't let him go to his left, okay? Take him off.
You say at the end of the round, where Oscar De La Hoya is doing what he's been doing most of the rounds, is close, coming in, throwing punches. Whether they land clean or not is not that important, but he's roughing him up in addition to that. Elbows, everything. And he's probably winning these rounds by doing that.
You know, this is the perception is this is an even fight, close to it. Now the tension builds. Now perhaps the drama will build.
Well, and you wonder if Mayweather recognizes the danger of throwing 35 punches in a round where the opponent throws 68. I mean, Manny, your point is quite well taken. It doesn't much matter whether you're landing if you're throwing twice as much as the other guy.
And then actually Floyd is having a problem of hitting Oscar now. So he's throwing punches, but he has not found a way to penetrate.
I'll tell you what, the body punches have taken their toll. Maybe he didn't land them at a high rate, but Mayweather is defensive when Oscar goes to the body.
I think that Oscar some kind of way figured out Floyd's rhythm is taking his punches away from him.
Big right hand over the top by Mayweather, but one punch at a time.
And Oscar sees it. He's half deflecting those shots. Floyd still cannot find a way to get clean punches together. He blocked that punch.
With left hook, but partially blocked, as Manny pointed out.
Tell me something, Emmanuel. How does a fighter get to be considered a great fighter as he throws basically one punch at a time? Although this is maybe one of the best flurries he's had all night.
Well, it's not that difficult to be the greatest. I've never considered him great. He's considered a pound for pound, but the Ray Leonards and all of that stuff, comparing him and Ray Robinson, no. He's a good fighter.
Look, he's won all of his fights. And he's won 36 out of the 37 pretty unquestionably. So, you know, obviously, from a competitive standpoint, that's hard to argue with.
Yeah,
but this sport is also about theater.
It's about theater and then the caliber guys that he fought to some degree.
Well,
but he's a very talented fighter.
Another De La Hoya rally against the rope. Throwing and throwing. Mayweather grinning as if to say the crowd misinterprets all this, but the fact is he's being swamped by activity in those moments.
He's winning the fight because he's busy, and Floyd cannot hit Oscar. Oscar's defense is pretty good.
Hit him that time. Incidentally, CompuBox somewhat disagrees with us about accuracy, Manny. They had Floyd landing 20 of 35 in the last round. That's high accuracy.
This is a good moment here, and for Mayweather, who senses that there is some urgency now.
He's thrown more in this round. And perhaps this is the beginning of the stretch run. He's been saying all along that De La Hoya would fade toward the end of the fight. We're into round 9. So perhaps Mayweather's mentality is, now's the time when I pick up the pace and separate myself from him, as was the case against Zab Judah.
Step back, please, fellas. There we go.
But
Watch your
Zab
head.
actually cut off. Oscar's still very aggressive.
I know
Oscar's very aggressive.
I know Oscar De La Hoya, and he ain't no Zab Judah.
Thank you.
Good work. We need a little more hustle. A little more hustle. You whooping him easy, but I'm saying he just coming forward. I'm saying you just whooping his ass. You got add more hands, a little more go. You doing good. Listen, don't go on the ropes. Tie him up in the middle. If we get here, tie him up. Other than that, whoop his ass.
Keep dropping underneath him, shot.
Listen, you gotta keep going.
All right? It's double that jab. Vaseline.
Reset. After reset. Don't wait in there. Run too long. Reset. Hands up.
Don't stand in front of him. Be on your toes. Move your head a little bit. A little head movement. Nice and loose. Keep popping that jab. Be touching with that jab, okay?
Round 9 was probably one of the more difficult rounds in the fight to score. 3 rounds to go in Las Vegas. Drama building. Harold Letterman, how do you have it to this point?
Look at you, 87-84, 6 rounds to 3, Floyd Mayweather Jr. Jim, in that 9th round, I mean, Oscar De La Hoya throws one big flurry, the crowd goes nuts, and he never throws another flurry the entire round. I don't understand it. He looks at him, he looks at him, he looks at him. In the meantime, Floyd's popping him with clean, effective, hard punches. 6-3, Mayweather.
I have it 5-4 for Mayweather.
And please note that Harold Letterman gave the 8th round to Mayweather. a round that I personally thought might have gone to De La Hoya. So that's one of the reasons for the 3-point margin on the Letterman card. Once again in the last round, De La Hoya threw 61 punches to 35 for Mayweather. Judges aren't always that great at discerning what lands and what doesn't. They are better at simply counting punches.
Well, and also from different sides of the ring, you may see a slightly different fight.
And you know, we never know what the effect of the crowd may have on these judges here, too. Every time Oscar flurries, the crowd really erupts, whether he lands a clean punch or not. And that happens sometimes. But I give Oscar credit because Floyd has not been able to hit him that easy still. He's coming in, he's picking off Floyd's punches for the most part. Floyd looks flashy, but he's having problems hitting Oscar.
He said he would massacre Oscar. He better hurry up if he's going to massacre him.
Well, I've been certain all along that Floyd Mayweather would win the fight. But I'm pretty amazed at what Oscar De La Hoya has shown at this age and after his long stretch of inactivity. This is a spirited effort.
Very spirited effort, very determined effort, too.
Mayweather once again, more accurate, sharper puncher through this point in the 10th round. Oscar looking for one of those chances to pin him against the ropes and flurry. It has not happened here in the 10th. I think the mistake De La Hoya has made in the last couple of rounds is he put the jab back into the holster. Just hasn't thrown it enough. And that, of course, probably has to do with the quick right-hand counters of Floyd Mayweather.
Now he's playing in the Floyd's game, playing mind games.
Mayweather more elusive now, making it harder for Oscar to find those opportunities.
Work out, fellas.
Fight beginning to turn in the direction of the favorite. Mayweather dropping his hands as if to say, go ahead and lead, I'll counter you. Frustrating round for De La Hoya. 10 rounds finished, 2 rounds to go.
Okay. 2 good rounds, right? 2 good rounds. Don't get wild. Go. Double up, triple up. That's a good stiff jab. Good head movement. Like your height. Like your height. 6 minutes, time. That's how you go.
But he coming forward. So we gonna do? Listen, you beating me, boy. I'm saying.
Give him credit for coming forward.
He ain't doing shit.
He ain't doing shit.
Floyd, we ain't worried about that. The main thing is this, you win. We don't give a fuck about that.
Keep his ass in the center.
Here you see Floyd landing a right hand at the end of the round. It's partly because of Oscar being fatigued right now and getting out of position and not being able to see those crisp punches as good as he did earlier in the fight.
De La Hoya only 7 out of 62 in that round. His lowest number of connected punches since the first round. Mayweather 20 out of 44. That was the most one-sided round in the fight so far. And perhaps a harbinger of what Mayweather's been saying all along, that De La Hoya would fade down the stretch and he would begin to dominate him in the late rounds. This is round 11. The most satisfying knockout victory of Oscar De La Hoya's career took place in the 11th round against Fernando Vargas. But it was Vargas who was tiring that night.
Yeah, and Vargas, but Floyd is a different fighter here.
Big time. Right-hand pot shots for Mayweather. De La Hoya not jabbing, leaving himself open for Mayweather's opportunities. De La Hoya must jab and put Mayweather on the defensive. He has not been able to do it the last couple of rounds.
Oscar's getting tired, and not just physically, it seems like mentally he's becoming very drained now.
No, this is becoming like a sparring session for Mayweather, because if De La Hoya doesn't throw, he has no chance. Right hand lead that time by De La Hoya. Mayweather skipping away along the ropes, hammers Oscar with a right hand in the center of the ring. Hits him again. Hand speed difference more and more apparent. Mayweather beginning to operate like a surgeon.
Oscar's totally abandoned his left jab, which is his most effective punch he's had tonight.
Good body shot by De La Hoya.
Lots of punches, but nothing effective.
De La Hoya has been unable to land a big punch, and Mayweather doesn't punch hard enough to make a serious impact on De La Hoya.
Well,
so we have a boxing match which doesn't quite live up to the hope and the hype everyone had.
At the height of his reign as the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the sport, it didn't matter who Pernell Whitaker fought. You would pick him to win by unanimous decision. It was the logical choice. At the height of Roy Jones's reign as the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the sport, it didn't matter who he fought. You would pick him to win by unanimous decision. It was the logical choice. It didn't matter who Floyd Mayweather was fighting tonight. The logical choice was Mayweather by unanimous decision.
He's fighting a very smart fight now. He threw a looping right hand at Oscar. He threw another looping, then he'll throw the right hand between the gloves. He's keeping Oscar totally confused right now. I guess he's abandoned landing that left hook, which Oscar seems to block every time he throws. So he's now concentrating on hitting Oscar with right hands.
Hard right hand by De La Hoya. His most effective punch in 3 rounds. Crowd tries to root Oscar into position to take advantage, but it was too late.
Be interesting to see how that round will score.
You wonder how this fight looks
You got to close out like a champ.
from up in the balcony.
This round here, this 12 round. Listen, boxer, shut up, listen. This round.
Catch your breath, huh? Catch your breath. Nice and relax.
Nice relax.
Smart, huh? Smart.
Gloves for final round. Touch gloves when you come out.
Okay, Oscar.
Right? He
Gloves
already,
for final round. Touch gloves when you come out.
he already frustrated. Now go to work on his ass.
Here for you, son. Okay? You're gonna walk right into it. Put the jab and right hand together for me, okay? All right, let's go to work now, son.
Solid minutes.
Son. You're not even breathing at me.
A CompuBox revelation between rounds as Floyd Mayweather cranked it up in the 11th, throwing many more punches than did Oscar De La Hoya. The pattern throughout the fight had been the opposite. Now De La Hoya knows he must go for the knockout in the 12th round. He landed a big right hand toward the end of the 11th. It probably wasn't enough to put Mayweather in any jeopardy.
Look out, look out.
A 12th round knockout, if it were to happen, would be the first of De La Hoya's career. Right now, Mayweather is once again who's landing clean punches. And once again, Mayweather throwing more as De La Hoya seems to search for the opportunity for one big punch. The jab was the key, and when Oscar stopped throwing it in around 8, the fight began to tilt in Mayweather's favor.
Yeah, Mayweather has no answer for Oscar's jab.
Step back. Here we go.
Almost impossible to hunt as elusive a fighter as Floyd Mayweather down with one big shot. The only chance for De La Hoya at this point, it would appear, would be to get another one of those big rallies against the ropes and somehow land a left hook. And we mentioned that a great defensive fighter like Mayweather could largely take away the money weapon like the left hook. De La Hoya hasn't landed one of those big, super clean left hooks upstairs all night long.
And neither have Floyd. Both of them best punches left hooks, believe it or not. But the main thing is Floyd needs to be fresher, thinking, punching crisper, seems to be more in control of his body and everything else. And that may impress the judges.
Just much faster hands. Much more command in the closing rounds.
But Oscar's fought a very determined fight regardless of what the outcome is.
This is an argument with fists, and the younger man appears to be winning the argument.
De La Hoya visibly determined not to go quietly into that good night. But fighting Floyd Mayweather is a dose of cold reality. This flurry will warm the hearts of De La Hoya's millions of fans. But the judges are watching the accurate clinical retaliation. of a truly great fighter at the peak of his skills.
It's very likely that Cinco de Mayo is becoming Mayweather.
Was it one last hurrah for a giant pot of money? Or will De La Hoya make good on his promise to keep on fighting even after this? And where does Mayweather go from this pinnacle after claiming that he's going to retire? They fight to the finish and please the crowd.
A good fight, and by the reaction of the crowd, the dramatics at the end gave them what they came for.
A better fight than a lot of people anticipated, but with the likely outcome seemingly written in stone. And the crowd appreciates both. Oscar De La Hoya unloaded 82 punches in the 12th round, trying to find the one big shot. And incidentally, in the closing seconds, he finally landed that left hook, Manny.
Yeah.
A parting shot, as it were.
It was a good finish.
Mayweather 25 out of 54 in the 12th. His accuracy all night long was a mark of his greater hand speed, his youth, his fire, his ability to be the best fighter in the sport. Let's take a look at the three official judges, carefully chosen. Chuck Jompa, one of the veterans of the trade, 114 title fights. Easy card in Mayweather's win over Valdemir the night that Floyd won all 12 rounds. Sami Kazmarek from New Jersey brought in for this. Had Hasim Rahman even with James Toney in Atlantic City a year and a half ago. And Jerry Roth, who was also a judge on that night back in the late 1990s when Oscar De La Hoya squared off against Felix Trinidad, and who had Mayweather a winner by 4 points in his first fight with Jose Luis Castillo the night that some ringsiders thought that Floyd had actually lost. Millie De La Hoya can be proud of her man. Floyd Mayweather Sr. can be proud of his son and of the fighter he's trained for the last 7 years.
It was a very good fight. I was very impressed with both of the guys. They fought good. They fought to the best of their ability. But I tell you what, I know one thing. Floyd Mayweather Jr. has a lot more respect for Oscar after this fight here because this is the roughest fight he's been in.
Let's go to Michael Buffer for the scores and the decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the MGM Grand, we go to the scorecards. Tommy Kazmarek scores the bout 115-113. De La Hoya. Chuck Jompa scores the bout 116-112 Mayweather. Jerry Roth scores the bout 115-113 to the winner by split decision and new WBC super welterweight champion of the world, Pretty Boy, Floyd Mayweather.
Many in the crowd, unaware apparently that it was De La Hoya's title which was at stake, ready to celebrate when Michael Buffer said new, thinking that that meant their guy had won. But no, it was De La Hoya's title in this Mayweather's first trip to 154 pounds. And how about those scores, Emmanuel?
I think the scores, you couldn't argue with. It was a competitive fight.
There was moments in the Mayweather corner, though, after the announcement of Tommy Kazmarek's score in favor of De La Hoya.
All RF mics are clear of the ring. That was bad.
Be nice if you... Celebrations throughout the ring. Mayweather's victory, and let's take a look at final CompuBox numbers. Mayweather landing 85 more and throwing 106 less, doubling De La Hoya's connect percentage. Quicker, more precise, more accurate. Power shots. A textbook display of accuracy from Mayweather. 138 out of 241. You simply cannot do it much better. And this on a night when De La Hoya, some of the time, was defending pretty well. Blocking some shots with his gloves, ducking and slipping for a little while. De La Hoya 82 out of 341, throwing 100 more power punches as he searched and searched for the one big shot that might change things around. Larry Merchant stands by in the ring.
Thank you, Jim. Floyd, you seem agitated. What are you agitated about?
I'm not agitated. I'm having fun. You know, I'm happy. It was a hell of a fight. That's what the fans wanted. I told the fans they're going to get a good fight, so we gave them a good fight tonight. But first off, I got to thank God for this victory. And my team, Team Mayweather, Al Haymon, Leonard Ellaby, we got the best team in the world, the best trainer in the world. It's Roger Mayweather, pop. Come on over here, Roger.
Wait, only you were in the ring, though,
this
tonight,
is the best trainer right here.
He whooped his ass, and I said he whooped his ass a long time.
Hey, if you look at the punch stats, we got Team Mayweather, and you know who leading the way at Team Mayweather? Roger Mayweather, baby. We did it tonight. Get money, baby.
Was he better, more active than
Kavanaugh, great ground game. Interesting to see.
Brought to you by Amouage International. Is notorious Conor McGregor. And next is opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. A mixed martial artist, standing 5 feet 11 inches tall. His weight, 154 1/2 pounds. As a professional, his record, 2 victories and 1 defeat. Hailing from Oslo, Norway, he is the Iron Fist, Aaron Jensen. Referee in charge of the action, Neil Hall.
So our referee for this one, Neil Hall, and a very pensive-looking Janssen in the red corner, Josh.
Oh, incredibly stern look on his face. If anyone told him Conor McGregor has a habit of finishing quickly, I don't think anyone told him.
Don't blink for this one, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, interesting gamesmanship from Conor McGregor in the opening stanza there.
So southpaw Conor McGregor wearing the wrestling shorts. Aaron Janssen from Norway wearing the black trunks.
Oh, good display of kicks from Aaron Janssen, trying to keep the range on Conor McGregor, let him stop him closing the distance quickly. But he is fast when he comes in with those hands, isn't he, John?
Yeah, absolutely. And Conor's looking very relaxed. His shoulders are nicely relaxed. He's a boxing coach at SBG.
Oh, lovely scramble forward from Aaron Johansson. Big pickup on the single leg and fantastic balance from Conor McGregor, keeping himself on the feet.
And strength in legs as well, actually. He really sort of propelled himself. We're seeing now that he's pressing Janssen up against the cage. Janssen looking perhaps to try and sneak his left arm through under the neck of McGregor.
Yeah, possible head and arm guillotine, but it's going to be very difficult to finish. You can already see Conor McGregor maintaining his posture, getting his head up, and he's got a good solid grip with that right hand on the left wrist of Aaron Janssen.
So Conor McGregor trying to soften Janssen with some knees as he pops his head out. Nasty foot stomps.
Yeah, this is an uncharacteristically slow start for Conor McGregor, isn't it, John?
Yes, Neil Hall actually calling for a little bit more action, which I'm quite sure that McGregor's never heard before.
Good head position from the Irishman, trying to get up under the chin of Aaron Janssen, really control his posture, force him into the cage and up onto his toes. That combined with a foot stomp. Oh, but Neil Hall calling for a break in the action.
Yes, McGregor will be happy for that. Oh, a nice head kick from Janssen.
Yeah, McGregor felt that through his gloves, and it seems to have injected a little bit of life into him.
And another attempt as well. And I think that McGregor might have clipped Janssen as he shot in.
Yeah, he's ended up in a pretty offensive half guard, has the Irishman on the top. He's got good control of the head, giving up the underhook on the side, though.
And this is where having a cornerman like John Kavanagh really comes into play. John Kavanagh of SBG, a real pioneer of mixed martial arts in Ireland.
Yeah, I was speaking to a few renowned figures in the last couple of days, and they said, you know what, Greg Jackson in the US, John Kavanagh in Europe.
I'm sure he'd be very proud to hear you say that.
And it's nice posture for striking from Conor McGregor, really throwing the legs to the side, landing a nice big shot.
And he's trying to hurt Janssen with some shots, and I think he's having some success with those, Josh.
Yeah, Janssen forced to scramble forward, but he's left himself open for a pretty nasty crossface from Conor McGregor.
Conor being told that he's got lots of time and he's picking his shots wisely. Janssen just covering at the moment.
Oh, lovely left knee to the rib. He was sitting in that side wedge position, but now just pinning the head and landing big strikes is Conor McGregor. Janssen's going to have to do something here.
And that's it. Neil Hall has called a halt to this. Janssen was not intelligently defending himself, and Conor McGregor wins by ground and pound and asks for a reaction from the crowd, which he gets.
Yeah, good display from the Irishman, a slightly more measured approach than usual, but getting the job done once again with some vicious hands.
Absolutely, still putting to use that excellent power that he has in both his left and his right. The southpaw fighter representing SBG and Ireland. Conor McGregor really does like this big stage. A convincing win over Aaron Janssen. We're going to make it official. Hand over to Joe in the cage.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes at 3 minutes, 29 seconds of round number one. Referee Neil Hall calls a halt to the bout for your winner by TKO victory from Dublin, Ireland, Notorious Conor McGregor.
I'm here with our winner, Notorious Conor McGregor. Conor, a much more measured performance than usual. You didn't perhaps come out as fast as we thought you might have.
Yeah.
Give us your thoughts on that fight.
Well, he's the bigger guy. I cut for featherweight, and then that got cancelled, so I had to take the fight at lightweight. So I knew this guy was going to be big, so I had to take my time, pick my shots, and get the win. That's my 10th MMA win. 8 of those are first round TKOs and KOs. All my wins are by knockout. Give me the belt. Give me the belt.
Yeah, you've got wins in just 4 and 16 seconds. Let us know what's next for Conor McGregor.
Tomorrow I'm going to chill by the pool. Pina coladas all around. And that's about all I'm thinking of right now. The belt as well. I want that belt badly. I have 5 fights on my contract for Cage Warriors. That's my first. I should send out a message to all the little scrawny featherweights out there. He was a stone heavier. He was a stone heavier than me, so imagine what I do to your little scrawny ass. Thanks.
Okay, well, strong words from Conor McGregor, and we very much look forward to seeing you again. Notorious Conor McGregor, ladies and gentlemen.
Ever since his destruction of Diego Corrales in 2001, Floyd Mayweather has generally been considered the best pound-for-pound fighter in the sport. The only real threat to that mythical title, April 2002, when Jose Luis Castillo bullied Mayweather around the ring before ultimately losing a disputed decision. We'll find out what Floyd has learned about infighting in the 5 years since that night. One question for Ricky Hatton could be, does he have enough experience against top-notch opposition for this? Hatton points to his wins over Castazu and Jose Luis Castillo, but both those fighters were well past their primes, as Mayweather most certainly is not. And will Hatton be skilled enough and quick enough to deal with Floyd Mayweather's brilliance? He is about to find out. And now we bring you inside the arena, where it is an ongoing celebration of the presence of Ricky Hatton in the fight. And a question becomes, will Mayweather, with all of his experience and his skills, be energized in the right way by the crowd which is going to be so overwhelmingly against him? Or will it in some way throw him for a loop, causing him perhaps to make an error of aggression? Just check this out. It's an amazing scene, ladies and gentlemen. Unique in our experience in the sport, very much like being at a massive college football rivalry game, Harvard-Yale perhaps, Wabash-DePaul, Michigan-Ohio State, take your pick. Larry Merchant, second time this year that we've been here for a Floyd Mayweather fight of this magnitude, an unbelievably brilliant year in boxing in terms of great matchups. 6 months ago in this arena, Floyd Mayweather and Oscar De La Hoya smashed all records for financial impact, but they fell well short of creating the kind of excitement that a lot of people, particularly in the general public, had hoped for in the fight. Can Mayweather and Hatton reach more modest expectations here tonight?
Possibly, but to predict it would be hope over experience. The hope that Hatton can pressure Mayweather into using the art of war more than the art of self-defense, at which he is so sophisticated and dominant, but which also frequently drains all the drama out of a fight. Whatever, we have this scene, we have this event, thousands of true believers hoping that their hero, their neighbor, their friend can somehow give a little bit of hell to a fighter, an American who thinks he is heaven sent. Nobody's been able to do that yet, Jim.
And indeed, nobody's been able to do it largely because Floyd Mayweather is seen by many as the most brilliant defender in the sport. Emmanuel Stewart, Ricky Hatton is a dynamic inside fighter. What can he do, what must he do to break through the brilliance of Floyd Mayweather's defense, which has been mystifying for other fighters?
Normally, I've always said that the guy that would beat Floyd Mayweather would have to be a big welterweight. But the fact that Ricky Hatton is not a big welterweight, but Floyd is not big himself, I think Ricky has a better chance than the average guy because not only does he put a lot of pressure, but he knows how to do things to neutralize the shoulder roll of Mayweather. And that's by not just coming directly in a straight line, attacking, using his feet, attacking Mayweather from angles, unlike what De La Hoya and the other guys did. I think Ricky's foot speed is something that people are underestimating, and the intensity that he fights with, which is unlike anything that Floyd has ever fought. He fights with the same intensity and emotion that the crowd that supports him has. But I think Floyd's superior skill would give him an advantage, but it's not one that I would be comfortable with if I was a betting guy.
Comparisons continue to enter my mind. It's Army-Navy. It's Texas A&M when the game is played in College Station and the Corps gets to do all of the stuff that they do before the game. It is really an amazing scene. So you've seen the ad hoc pageantry that surrounds us. Now let's begin the official pageantry with ring announcer Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are moments away from the moment you've been waiting for. First, we will honor the fighters and their respective national anthems. Here to sing the national anthem, God Save the Queen, there are stars, there are superstars, and there are legends. The legend is with us tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Sir Tom Jones.
God save our gracious Queen, long live our noble Queen. God save our Queen. Send her victorious, happy and glorious, long to reign over us. God save our Queen.
Towards what Ricky was.
Fight in either calendar 2008 or 2009. And this will be, if not his last fight ever, certainly his last fight for at least 2 more years. He said, I don't love boxing. Hatton would never say anything of the sort.
Right here, you see the difference in the speed of Ricky Hatton as compared to other opponents of Floyd. Even when Oscar fought it, the foot speed in addition to the upper body movement is a lot different.
Good quick left hook lands on the button for Mayweather. Accuracy of Floyd Mayweather's punching is one of his biggest weapons.
It's the no man's land between where Hatton is and where he wants to get, where Mayweather has to win the fight.
So far, Mayweather is doing a very good job of keeping Hatton in no man's land. And landing his counter shots.
But Rick is putting a lot of pressure, more than I've ever saw any opponent put on. Even though he hasn't landed, he's putting pressure that Floyd is getting very uncomfortable with. The foot special is a main thing. So
every body punch should bring a thunderous roar from the crowd, or at least as long as Hatton is functionally in the fight.
See, that's again that foot speed. He's got Floyd losing his balance. He's making Floyd move a lot faster than he wants to.
My name is Conor McGregor.
Outside
on trial. Featherweight Championship of the World. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist standing 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing in officially 144 3/4 pounds. He brings an outstanding record, 10 victories and just 2 defeats. Joining us from Coventry, England, here is Dave Hill. And next his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner, also a mixed martial artist. He too stands 5 feet 8 inches tall. He also weighed in 144 3/4 pounds and brings an identical professional record, 10 victories, just 2 defeats. He is the fighting pride of Dublin, Ireland, the notorious Conor McGregor. Referee in charge of the action for this match, Neil Hall.
Okay, guys, read through the rules. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen. Read through the rules. Listen to me. Okay? You must take yourself at all times. Follow my commands at all times. Understand? Move it back.
Good luck to Neil Hall refereeing this one. 3 rounds for the featherweight strap. Conor McGregor in the grey. Dave Hill in the white. We're underway. Conor McGregor immediately gesturing, come on.
Oh, Dave Hill immediately in for the shot. Good sprawl from Conor McGregor, though. Dave Hill's going to have to... Well, Conor McGregor opts to pull guard here. Dave Hill was in like a lightning bolt. Now looking to pass. Look how well, though, McGregor's posted and back to his feet.
Teammates at SBG have told me it's OK getting Conor down, but he'll get straight back up, well, which he's just shown.
It's going to be very hard for Dave Hill to keep McGregor on the ground and then work his way to a submission.
UK standout Tom Breeze and Mark Goddard in the corner of Dave Hill as Conor McGregor reverses the submission specialist. Huge adrenaline probably running through the veins of both of these young fighters.
Yeah, as they break here, Conor just stifling him up against the cage. A rare kick from Conor McGregor.
Dave Hill has never been stopped, Josh. And he doesn't believe that Conor McGregor has it to do either.
Well, McGregor is going to be so fired up here, I think you could probably hit him with a truck and he'd keep coming.
Good head kick from McGregor. Now, good straight right back from Dave Hill.
It was the Ash Grimshaw fight where we really saw Dave Hill striking, turn a corner, but at the same time, this is the realm of Conor McGregor.
Dave Hill lost out to Artem Lobov, who is an SBG fighter.
Dave Hill again in on the shot. Lovely whizzer and sprawl from Conor McGregor. Textbook defence on that single leg.
But this is where Dave Hill wants this fight.
Yeah, immediately working to rob a guard, looking to get really high, tie up the shoulders of Conor McGregor.
Mark Goddard is a student of Braulio Estima, and that has filtered down into Dave Hill's game.
Well, the close guard game that someone like Braulio brings is exceptional, but looking for the omoplata is Dave Hill as Conor McGregor looks to circle over. He's got a possible triangle from the top here.
He has indeed.
Dave Hill's got to be careful. Still with the shoulder of Conor McGregor locked up, but
still in that position, but he's for it, and it looks like McGregor just wants to beat on Hill.
Yeah, Dave Hill not quite able to restore guard, but it was in the transition, in the attempted mount, that Conor McGregor was caught and moved back to half guard.
So Conor McGregor in Dave Hill's half guard.
Dave Hill knew he was going to have to weather an exceptional storm coming from Conor, and he's done so thus far, but some huge ground and pound from the Dublin man.
And it is an answer to the SBG chants from the crowd. Dave Hill gets back to his feet and drives Conor McGregor up against the fence. He is so tough, this Brit.
Yeah, Dave Hill is showing that you can put him in a bad position, but in the scramble, he knows exactly where he needs to go. Conor McGregor starting with the gamesmanship, though.
And McGregor's got to be careful. Dave Hill is meant to be forcing the action. They were the words that I got from Mark Goddard. He knows that if Conor McGregor comes forward, and look at this, that head kick, look at the rigidity of the chin for Dave Hill.
The shots to the top of the kneecap. Mark Goddard on his feet in the corner of Dave Hill.
Going to the body as well.
Oh, huge head kick.
Big head kick as Dave Hill looks to shoot.
Oh, Dave Hill has recovered so quickly. Immediately scrambled back with that underhook and back to his feet. I can see why he's never been stopped in his career yet.
Tough as nails. It's the fearless and elements fighter. And he's showing that he has all the elements this evening as he fights for this title. Scheduled for 5 rounds.
Oh, lovely jumping switch knee from Conor McGregor. The variation started to come out, the confidence in his strikes.
Big connection from Conor McGregor. Dave Hill stumbling.
They're still firing back with shots of his own, though. In on the single leg. These little elbows are what Conor McGregor used to put Steve O'Keefe away. He's so dangerous with them.
And Conor McGregor has used that cage to good effect.
Oh, Dave Hill scrambling. McGregor moving to the back. Is this going to be his first ever submission victory?
Well, he's getting it inside. It's very difficult for us to see how tight it is from our position.
Last few seconds here. Oh, my God.
Dave Hill sees a second round. Deep water for him there. What an encounter. Mark Goddard furious with the referee, and I think it's something to do with Conor McGregor holding on to the fence. But anyway, back to the action. Conor McGregor coming forward with punches, and there.
The head kicks he started
Shin
landing.
to jaw. Look at the power in that. How did Hill keep the clarity of mind to fight back?
McGregor's seen that every time Hill comes with that big overhand right, he drops his guard first and he's making him pay. Bit of the groundwork from Conor McGregor here. I really thought we might see him take home that rear naked choke for a moment, but Dave Hill staying in this with every ounce of heart he's got.
Conor McGregor looking very impressive here tonight, showing us all of his credentials. Take a breath, because we are set for our next round.
I'm not sure I can take much more of this, John. This is edge of your seat stuff.
Round 2, the fast hands and vocabulary of shots coming from Conor McGregor as he's looking for the finish. There's songs ringing about this auditorium here in Dublin.
Phenomenally tight mount here for Conor McGregor as he crosses his feet underneath Dave Hill and really sinks his hips low, pinning the man from Coventry, to the floor.
We've seen some real development from Conor McGregor from that time he stepped out in Cork and was beaten by Joseph Duffy. He's come on leaps and bounds, and he's showing us what he's made of this evening.
He made a radio appearance in the run-up to this fight, and the guys sent us a message saying you've got a real star in the making on your hands, and he's showing why right now.
Conor McGregor knows he's going to the top. He doesn't think or hope, he knows. And with these kind of performances, I believe him.
It's something you can say for just obscene confidence. I mean, this guy is a dynamo. He knows he can back up any kind of talk, and you know, he gets inside the heads of his opponents from the very moment that contract's signed.
But let's not get ahead of ourselves, Josh, because Dave Hill is still here. This is his territory. I would have thought he'd need to make something stick early on.
Yeah,
it is only round 2.
Rubber guard for Dave Hill, but Conor McGregor slipping out as Dave tries to get some sort of omoplata off this, but perhaps just a tad too slippery at the moment. He's still hanging on, immediately turns back in and scrambles.
Very nice top control from Conor McGregor, answering those critics who may have questioned his ground fighting credentials.
Yeah, they haven't really got anything to say much longer. He's holding his own here on the ground, and he's really showing that the type of ground game he's got integrates so well with those vicious striking offense.
Good mobile hips from Dave Hill as he tries to use that underhook and get his hips out.
Yeah, nice frame from Conor McGregor with the whizzer and the forearm on the face of Dave Hill to just put him back on the floor. Doesn't want to extend his arms too much here, though.
Conor McGregor looks fresh as a daisy as he throws with some real venom.
Dave Hill again back in on the single, but Conor McGregor just stepping out of it, pinning the head.
Dave Hill making a really good account of himself. But for me, Conor McGregor is in the ascendancy, chalking up points and doing a lot of damage as we get deeper into this championship fight.
You've got to start wondering how much longer can Dave Hill hustle on these scrambles and these recoveries, because every time he's bearing the weight of Conor McGregor, he's still very much in this fight, and he's pulling some fantastic escapes and recoveries out of the bag here. But the top position is all Conor McGregor right now.
This is Dave's kind of fight. He does fight this way. He's often in danger, but pulls things out. In the fight against Dave Lee, he was in a very uncomfortable position and pulled out a submission win.
Looking for a guillotine with one arm was Conor McGregor. He can afford to take his time here, and Bayside is walking up for a head and arm choke now, though. You can see him just take those fingers inch by inch up the mat as he tries to isolate the right arm of Dave Hill. Really good deep grip around the head as well, but opting to go back for the strikes.
Good maturity shown by Conor McGregor, not rushing anything, and you would forgive him for that with the kind of support that he has here.
Again, looking for the rear naked choke. He's got good inside wrist control with that other hand.
Looking to isolate and trap that arm. Dave Hill was wise to it. As we get set for a minute left in this round.
He's got the body triangle now, and look at the extension he's getting on his hips as he arches in to the back of Dave Hill.
Dave Hill has never been submitted.
It's a lot of pressure.
He's never been stopped. There it is. It is all over. Notorious Conor McGregor is victorious here in Cage Warriors. He wins the featherweight belt.
I have never seen anything like this.
Some extreme scenes here in Dublin as we are showered with celebratory beers and lagers as Conor McGregor joins his following.
He's jumped the cage onto our commentary desk and into the crowd.
What can I say? Wow. A fantastic performance from Conor McGregor, who steals the title in a beautiful way, submitting. That's right, ladies and gentlemen.
My God.
Submitting Dave Hill to earn himself championship gold. Unbelievable scenes here in Dublin. Still the crowd are chanting and cheering. Conor McGregor is showing his conditioning, giving us, I lost count. It's time to hand this over to Joe Martinez, who will announce our new featherweight champion.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes 4 minutes, 10 seconds. Round number 2, submission by rear naked choke. Your winner declared, he is now the first Irish-born fighter in MMA history to win a world title in his hometown of Dublin, Ireland. The new featherweight champion of the world, the notorious Conor McGregor.
The new champion is now with Josh.
Conor, I don't think I need to say it, but I'm going to anyway. Conor McGregor, Cage Warriors featherweight world title. How does that feel?
Oh, man. It feels so good. I put in so much work for this. I feel like I had this belt from day one. I visualized it in my head, I saw it in my head, and now here I am standing here. Thanks very much for everyone coming out. Really appreciate it.
It's another personal landmark for you in this fight. Your first submission victory inside the cage. There's no one sleeping on your ground game anymore.
Sean Kavanagh, all the guys in Straight Blast team, some of the best grapplers in Europe I train with on a daily basis. That's all them. Thanks very much.
The crowd support.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Drives him into credits, Floyd. Apply pressure. Or will Shane read Mayweather for a while and box? Most believe that he will try to pressure Mayweather and immediately get him into a physical fight.
Step back, fellas, step back. There we go.
And it starts with a couple of little body shots inside by Mosley. Jabbing to the body.
Work out, work out, work out. Come on, work out, fellas. Stop, stop, step back clean. There we go.
Mayweather with his left hand below his waist. Fights in a very loose, fluid style. Used his jab much more in his last assignment against Marquez than has normally been the case. Mosley starting out with the jab to the body.
Stop. Let him up.
At this stage right here, nobody's really made any contact, but Floyd's punches seem to be a little bit crisper and have a little bit more power. Moses seems to be a little weak, a little bit looser with his coordination.
Well, Mayweather, as usual, looks very relaxed. And that's part of what helps him to be so quick. And there's that right-hand counterpunch over the top, which is his best offensive weapon. Mosley's glove touches the canvas. Kenny Bayless rules it a slip. Mosley was trying to land a big right hand across the top. He wants to touch gloves. Mayweather wants to punch.
Mayweather gives the appearance of wanting to fight toe-to-toe, but of course he's very good defensively at close quarters as well as from a distance.
Mosley got a jab to Mayweather's chin. First real connect. But Shane looks wound up and tight.
Wound up and tight, and actually, surprisingly, Floyd looks physically stronger to me. Looks a little younger and better coordinated and stronger.
Well, some of that is just the sheer relaxation, right, Emmanuel?
No, he just physically, his body's just much more firmer and compact.
Jab by Mayweather.
And you're right, he is a lot more relaxed than Shane is.
Stop. Let him up.
That's almost to be expected. Mayweather recently has been in this position more often. Shane wanted this so badly. It's hard to imagine a fighter in more of a want-to position than Shane tonight. That means passion, but it can also mean being pent up. Mosley going back to the body with his jab.
Oh, no. Watch out.
That round was mostly a war of nerves. Mayweather had fewer nerves.
Soldiers, here we are. Everything's good. Just put the bucket in the side here for me. Everything's good. I need you to just settle down a little bit. That's all. Everything else is good. The stick is there. When you touch him, he's trying to touch you back underneath. That's why I need you to add that feint. Don't forget my legs. I need the split bucket up here at the top.
That's the whole thing. He keeps stepping with his stick, keep countering his ass. He don't know how to get into you, that's why. He don't know how to get to you. You control him with your hands, too.
Here you see Mosley throw a punch, a right hand, barely missed the right hand and lost his balance. And, you know, nobody's made that much of a solid contact in the entire round. But still, when the fighter starts slipping and falling, it kind of makes me feel that something is not as good as it should be in terms of the coordination.
They only threw 57 punches total in round one. Mayweather landed 7 out of 23, Mosley 11 out of 34. Harold Letterman gave the first round to Sugar Shane.
I didn't see much of anything happening in the first round, frankly. I called it even.
Don't push, okay? Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
They're standing close enough to punch, but not doing much of it.
Shane is usually a little bit more aggressive, but I think the feints and the hand speed of Mayweather's got him a little hesitant about coming in with the speed that he normally comes in with.
Well, you heard Nassim Richardson between rounds saying, I need you to settle down, touching on the point we made in the first round. He looks wound up and tight. There's a hard right hand. And that may be the hardest punch that Floyd Mayweather has taken in recent years. He's smiling about it, but Shane Mosley landed a right cross, and crunchingly so. Mayweather's trying to ward him off. Mosley's trying to follow up.
The same right hand that he missed with earlier and fell down, he landed it that time.
It was timing. He threw it at just the right moment. There's another right hand. Shane Mosley has brought the crowd into the fight.
It's very rare that we've seen Mayweather get hit by a right hand the way he holds his head behind his shoulder.
Mosley's loosening up. The crowd is coming alive, and we've got to fight for a moment here. Mosley, another big right hand. Mayweather's knees buckled on the second right hand. Mosley drives him into the ropes, tries to go to the body. Mayweather defending well as always.
He's not really hurt. He tried to feint it a little bit.
I think he's hurt. He's going to hit in his legs. The legs don't lie.
His balance isn't as good as normal.
He's hurt. But he's doing one thing smart. He's tying his man up. No, he's hurt.
Not sure what Kenny Bayless said. Shane Mosley responded to it. This chant is Mosley, Mosley, Mosley. Hard body shot by Sugar Shane. Two good left-hand counters by, or left-hand hooks, I should say, by Mayweather. And now he lands the right hand.
Work out, fellas. Work out.
Yeah. Well, the scoring of round one now becomes very interesting, because if the judges agreed with Harold Letterman and gave round one to Mosley, then Mayweather may suddenly be 2 rounds down on the scorecard.
Good. Boxing that motherfucker. Go back, motherfucker. You beating me? Yeah. Go back to boxing that motherfucker. Don't worry about getting no exchange with that motherfucker. Boxing. You beating me when you're boxing. Yeah. Go back to boxing. That's what we do. Box. Box.
Well, when they pat it on the way. Box. That's all you have to keep boxing. You find it hard to hit you when you box.
Here you see the right hand that landed, the first one that got him in trouble. Right on the chin, jab to the stomach and right hand to the chin. That's what started the problems. And then later on you see him land another right hand, not so clean, but it landed just enough to hurt him because of the fact that he was already dizzy, right in the temple area.
Almost panic in Mayweather's corner. Everyone's saying to him, box him, box him. Why are you fighting this fight? As we mentioned earlier, they were standing very close to each other as though Mayweather has got something to prove here.
There was a little grin on Mayweather's face between rounds. It looked almost like a look of embarrassment that he had gotten hit that way. Mayweather 11 out of 26 in the round. Mosley 18 out of 47. The big number is he threw 47 punches.
Watch the glove. Watch the glove. Watch the glove.
Floyd still, even though he's been hurt, probably behind a couple of rounds maybe, I think he still looks much stronger to me and more coordinated than Shane.
Well, I don't think there's any question that he's a better boxer than Shane Mosley.
No, but he's not boxing. He's actually fighting him. I think he just physically should raise him how strong he is looking. He's really not boxing. He wants to get in and fight with him.
There's the fighting, and now he lands a chopping right hand after his left hook. Mosley, showing his competitive spirit, wants to get back. Another right hand for Mayweather, who's coming back well from the difficulty of round 2. Round 3 has belonged to Floyd.
But Shane seems to be very generous and seems to be having a problem dealing with Floyd's speed.
Work out, fellas. Work out, work out, work out.
Mayweather probably surprised. I'm sorry, Mosley probably surprised that Mayweather is the aggressor.
Definitely Floyd has changed it up in this round, and I think it shows you his competitive response. I think he was embarrassed that he got hit by a right hand in round 2, and he wanted to dominate this round.
No, stop.
Partially blocking the left hook there. We're back to the war of nerves, as Mayweather has made an adjustment, and now Mosley seems to be trying to figure out how to deal with that adjustment. Floyd has had an accurate punching round. Mosley's defense, or I check it, Mayweather's defense has again become something of a mystery for Mosley in this round. He's hesitant, punching, jabbing to the body because he can't seem to find anything else to do, as Mayweather has turned the momentum around.
Get behind that jab, you'll be able to turn the hook off of that jab and drop that right hand. And when he starts that crossover, we told you that step over, we worked on that, Shane. We got that ready. But I don't want you second guessing yourself. Stay behind your speed. Stop looking to hurt him. It's going to come, Shane. It's going to come. Stop looking to hurt him. Stay behind your speed. That's the difference. We discussed this, son.
Hey, look, the main thing you got to do is keep working with that stick. That stick. Okay, want more water? Keep your head thinking. Keep thinking. Keep fainting. Keep fainting. Keep thinking. The main thing you gotta use that.
Roger Mayweather wants Floyd Mayweather to keep jabbing, keep feinting, keep boxing. Naseem Richardson wants Shane Mosley to relax, stay behind his speed, and not try to go for a knockout. Just simply try to land punches and box. Harold, how do you have it through 3?
Look at Jim. 2 rounds to 1, 29-28, Sugar Shane Mosley. Jim, in round 1, I thought Mosley landed the clean, effective shots with that left, the left jab to the body. In round 2, Mosley won it big. He landed the power shots. But in round 3, Floyd Mayweather planted his feet, would throw the left jab, and then that hard right hand. And I mean hard right hand. There's a lot of power. Getting off first. Either he gets off with a left hook or he gets off with a straight right. 2-1, Shane Mosley.
Already Mosley has produced some fireworks against Mayweather. Mayweather watchers will remember that a few years ago here in Las Vegas, Zab Judah got in some shots in the first 3 rounds before he was effectively subdued by Mayweather's defense in the middle rounds, and then late in the fight, Mayweather was toying with him, landing his right hand over the top at will. Let's see what happens to Mosley.
One of the most effective punches I thought that Shane would be utilizing a lot more would be his left jab, but he's not jabbing that much. And therefore, actually, Mayweather's out-jabbing him for the most part, even though he doesn't jab that much. But Shane should be working his jab a lot more.
Is it because Mayweather's been able to counter his jab?
I don't know, whatever it is, but he hasn't been throwing it that much. And just the speed of Mayweather in his hand and his physical strength is just still amazing me. And Shane is looking old to me. His body doesn't have that tone, and his punches doesn't have that the power.
And Floyd is fighting more offensively at this stage of the fight than is usually the case. Particularly, he stepped it up in round 3 to respond to Mosley's assault with a couple of right hands in round 2.
I think, Jim, that's because he believes he's the superior boxer and that he can capitalize on Mosley's mistakes or slowness. And that's why he's staying as close to him as he is.
Hard right hand by Mayweather.
I don't believe that punch landed, but he is, whatever Mosley was expecting, I doubt it was this.
For whatever reason, Mosley is no longer throwing much.
No, he's actually fighting Mayweather style now. A lot of feigning, hesitation, jerky moves, and that is what Floyd wanted. Floyd has got him fighting right in the mode that he wants.
That, you know, when fighters are used to being the fastest guy in the ring, and then they come up against a fighter who is as fast or faster, it changes everything. And maybe that's what it's changing in Mosley.
Don't worry about that. Keep doing what you're doing. Got too many boxing skills for that motherfucker. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep that motherfucker on the end of that jab. You can't do shit. You can't do nothing.
That third level, I need you to let those hands go in the middle. All right, tuck your chin, let those hands go in the middle. Take that angle off for him. All right, we worked on this, Shane. Don't hesitate with it. Put that stick in there, baby. Take them angles.
Here you see Shane coming in with his body in a position where it shouldn't be really, and he's getting caught with a right hand by Floyd right over his low left shoulder. One of the few clean punches that landed that round.
CompuBox numbers in the round: Mayweather 12 out of 31, Mosley 9 out of 32. That surprises me. I don't know that I saw Mosley throw 32 punches in that round, but maybe I wasn't looking carefully enough. Oh, excuse me. That was the average. That was the average through round 4. Average, Mayweather 12 out of 31, Mosley 9 out of 32, and that further underlines your point, Emmanuel, that Mosley is fighting Mayweather's fight.
Yes, he's fighting. The volume of punches is down, and Mayweather's a much more accurate pinpoint puncher when you're fighting on this level and at this tempo.
In the second round, Mosley got off 47 to 48 punches. That's the pace at which he wants to fight. But when you can't see the target, or you're worried about the counter coming back, it's much harder to release your hands.
Don't hold it. No. Let him up. Don't go. You're going forward. Okay, there he goes. And you're holding, okay? Here, touch him up, fellas. Touch him up.
Kenny Bayless has taken a very active role in the first 5 rounds of this fight.
And the dressing room.
No. Let him up.
Well, as he should. It's been a very, basically a quiet fight.
Keep the head up.
It's a good sparring session so far.